Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the first episode of the Confessions of Dangerous Knicks Fans podcast. I am your host, KnicksLoseAgain. Joining me is a fellow Knicks fan, as well as YouTuber and streamer, the surreal Andre. So what's up?
It's called the Confessions of a Dangerous Knicks Fan. That's funny.
Yeah, that's why I had
What's up, bro?
Yeah, that's why I had the logic cover.
Okay. I mean, it's fitting. What's good, bro?
Not much. I'm a little anxious, but you know what? I think it'll be good. I have a good feeling about this.
Like, living life as a Knicks fan is anxiety.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a comfort zone.
Yeah, we had what I wanted to do. So it was on the 27th, and I'm glad I waited a little bit, or I'm glad we waited a little bit because we would have been 1-2. I'm glad to have at least like another win, even if we had the worst 3-point shooting in NBA history last night. I'm glad we were able to just get another win under our belt.
No, yeah, because now we can like speak from the perspective of not being a losing team. We're not winning either. But yeah, you can't say we're a losing team right now.
Yeah, going into today before like the Bucks and everyone else played their games, I think we were the 8th seed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless before every other game is played, then yeah, we'd still be the 8th seed.
Yeah, right now we're tied with the Hornets, Heat, and Knicks. In the Knicks. We are 2-3. We are currently the 11th in the East, and
Okay.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to talk about the game from yesterday. It's amazing because I didn't know this until we went into the actual game. We were the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA. I think we shot like 45% from downtown through 4 games.
I didn't know that either until earlier in the day, and I hopped on Twitter and I saw the stat, and I was surprised myself, but it made sense because the Knicks have been winning, and generally when the Knicks win, it's because they're shooting the ball well.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they win games.
Yeah, but yesterday was not the case. Toronto didn't shoot great either. They shot 33%, but they
shot horrible. They were disgusting. They couldn't make a shot. They looked like a bum G League team out there with no type of superstar. Pascal Siakam, like don't know what he's doing out there. But I'm just mad because that was a really winnable game because they looked horrible.
That really was. I looked at the starting roster. I was watching the MSG version, and I saw the starting roster. I was like, besides Kyle Lowry and Van Vliet, like, what the fuck am I worried about? Aaron Baines?
There's literally nobody.
Like, they're the winless Raptors playing in Tampa, not even in Toronto. They're playing in Tampa with no star. They don't have Siakam because, disciplinary reasons or whatever the fuck the excuse was. And we shot 3 for 36 from downtown, 0 for 24 from our starters.
It was, I picked up, I didn't see the whole game. I picked up in the third quarter, and I was watching when the Knicks got a little lead, and then the Raptors started making that slight little comeback towards the end, and then the Knicks just couldn't get it back because they couldn't hit a shot. But it's the shot selection of the Raptors that's like, they give the Knicks so many chances because, like, their shots aren't that great. They don't have, like, really bucket getters. So that's why it sucked to just watch us lose that game because I can at least live with losing when it's just one dude killing us, like Sabonis or some shit.
Yeah. Because then, there's just nothing you can do. But when there's no, like, actual name recognition, obviously there's Kyle Lowry, who's like I think he was like a 4-time All-Star, like a All-Star starter, something like that. Then you have Van Vliet.
Booty God.
Yeah, Van Vliet. He can't. Yeah. Facts. Like, the amount of photoshops I've seen with fucking Kyle Lowry is amazing. And then you have Van Vliet, who can get buckets for you. Norman Powell, who's severely underrated, but nothing really to really be scared of.
Anunoby, but, like, even still, it's like they only have so much scoring punch between those guys.
Yeah, and then Aaron Baines. Everyone else, they played 35 to 37 minutes, all the rest of the stars. Aaron Baines played fucking 15 minutes and had 4 rebounds, 3 points.
Well, it always be those annoying guys that really don't have like much stats that just have a breakout game.
Yeah. Speaking of breakout, like, I wouldn't even really say it's a breakout. Kevin Knox had his best game. Well, what's up?
No, hold on. That just reminded me. Did we just play the Suns?
I don't think we did play the Suns. No, we just played the Cavs.
The Cavs? Okay, never mind. Because I'm thinking of Alex Len the other night. He was on the Raptors, wasn't he?
I want to say, yeah. Hold on, let me Let me
Yeah,
find out.
Alex Len is on the Raptors. That's what I remember. He hit these two annoying corner threes, which I've never seen Alex Len make a. Not even just one three. He hit like three threes on us.
Holy shit, yo! I just saw. I just scrolled down. And I
Alex
saw
Len.
Alex Len. Yep.
Alex fucking Len.
Yep. 3 of 4 from the field. 3 of 3 from downtown.
Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that.
That's wild. One person, like, I didn't even realize he had a breakout game, and it's not even really a breakout. It's just like a season best game. Kevin Knox. He apparently, I haven't really been paying much attention to Kevin Knox because I'm literally probably the biggest hater of Kevin Knox that exists amongst the Knicks community. But he actually,
Forehead, man, show him some love.
yeah, but he's actually like he's having a solid season so far. Like a big, already like a huge upgrade from last year, even though it's the first 5 games. He had 16.
Was it second year or third?
Third.
Third, yeah.
Yeah, I still think we should have got Michael Porter. I honestly would have been fine with waiting the year or two, however long it was for him to come into the league. But I don't know. But yeah, he had 16 points, 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 8 from downtown, 6 rebounds and an assist. And he's shooting. He has 8 points on the year, 42% from the field, 33 from downtown. I think this is obviously like a huge year for Knox. I think if something doesn't happen with him, I think we just need to get rid of him, at least by the trade deadline or something like that.
I would agree because Knox is. I like him, but I mean by this third year, that's why I asked what year he was in. By now, I would have expected him to be a bit more further along, so his value can kind of only go down from here.
Yeah, and I think I think he can be a good player somewhere. I don't know if it's really here, considering the quote-unquote toxic culture that we have. And with the Dennis Smith thing from last year, I can't really even dispute it.
You know what team I think could use Kevin Knox pretty well? Actually, the Spurs.
I mean, yeah, wait, who's on the Spurs? I actually forgot.
So they have a lot of these really long-armed, like, defensive wing players. So they got, like, DeJounte Murray, who else goes? Kelvin Johnson, obviously DeRozan, LaMarcus. Patty Mills is surprisingly still playing basketball and is a Spur.
Efficiently.
They have a lot of those kind of long-arm type of forward guys, right? So that's why I'm imagining he would fit.
Yeah, Keldon Johnson. Oh, holy shit. They played the Lakers today, I guess. He went off. 26 points, 10 rebounds in 35 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean...
I gotta look at his game because I only know him from using his My Team card.
Yeah.
He's like a small forward and he can shoot and he has some good defense, but I don't really know much of him.
Yeah, I don't really know much of him either. I don't even know if I knew the name. Actually, no, I did know the name. But, yeah, I could see Kevin Knox maybe sliding into the starting line and maybe to the bench to give a little more depth because I'm seeing they don't really have a small forward. They have Rudy Gay, but I'm pretty sure they're playing him at the 4 right now.
Yeah, the Spurs are really, the way that they're composed right now is kind of weird.
Yeah. We saw Austin Rivers get his first bit of action on yesterday.
And in my head, I've been sitting here like, yo, y'all think the Knicks winning games now? Wait till Austin come back.
Wait, hold on. What did he shoot? Okay, that actually.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that actually.
I'm curious. Tell me right now.
He actually did pretty solid. He had 7 points in 21 minutes, 5 assists, a steal, a rebound. Like nothing really spectacular, nothing eye popping, but nothing.
How many shots did he make and take?
He made 3 and attempted 6, and he made 1 3-pointer and attempted 4.
And did he have any turnovers?
Let me take a look. I don't know why it's not telling me. Hold on. Let me go on ESPN, I guess.
Because if he, with no turnovers, that's an all right game. But I mean,
he had 1.
For what, 21 turnovers? That's not that bad. I mean, he equals it out with a steal. I mean, it's productive, but for 20 minutes, I kind of need more than that.
Yeah, Julius Randle, he played 38 minutes, but I'm pretty sure he got hurt at some point. He had 16, 10, and 5, and so far this year, I saw some graphic. He compared him to Westbrook and someone else. I think it was like 99 points, 50 rebounds, and 30 assists of the first 4 games or something like that. Randle's playing lights out.
I think it's been a lot of, or one thing that I would say that aided to that is I think Thibodeau has like made an effort to let the offense kind of go through him. Like you'll see him actually bring the ball up and try to like take advantage of his matchup in some way, whether it's post them or drive by them just to force the collapse, and then he's just kicking out to everybody.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I'm noticing too. Obviously, like he's putting up like LeBron type assist numbers. He's averaging 7 assists on the year, and I think that's
And that's why people don't like us, because we say Julius Randle is doing LeBron type shit.
Yeah, but like if you really look at it stat wise, going in the first 4 games of the year, which again means nothing, but he was averaging better numbers than LeBron was. Like, like that's just being honest. That's not even me being like, oh yeah, we're going to the finals this year. He's averaging 5.5 more minutes than he did in the year before. Like again, I don't really understand the slander for Julius Randle. He's a 20-10 guy. Like,
well, the slander from Knicks fans or the slander from everyone else?
Slander period, because I don't see any love for Julius Randle on either side.
Okay, true. From everyone else, I'm gonna say they slander Julius Randle because I mean he's a Knick. It's easy to slander anyone who's a Knick, and I guess he was kind of like one of those unloved children of like the Lakers' shitty era of drafting players. You know, because like they held on to Kuzma. He's like one of their little golden children. They let go of Ingram and let go of Randle and let go of Alonzo. So they're like, you know, the ones that they just, you know.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah.
And from Knicks fans, it's just because he kept trying to act like Allen Iverson. That's what it was for me. He just he fucking thought that he could just make plays. But now I have to eat it up because, you know, he's doing it.
Yeah, he's actually putting up like LeBron type numbers. But another.
I'm not gonna say that out loud myself, but.
Yeah. The Cavs game, I know. Julius posted a triple double in 45 minutes. All right, wait. All right, yeah, we ran an 8-man roster against Cleveland the other night, but we also had Frank too. Who we did not have. We had Austin Rivers instead of Frank yesterday. Let's see what else.
And quickly he sprained his ankle, right?
Yeah, quickly sprained. Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, I think quickly sprained his ankle. Something happened with Obi. I think was it something with his leg or his hip, or like, am I missing something?
Yeah, but I remember reading the alerts, and they were both supposed to, it's like 2 weeks or something like that. So I don't think we're gonna like be shorthanded, thankfully.
No, because again, like we're a very deep team. It's just like we don't have him aside from obviously Julius Goat Randle. We don't really have any star power.
Did you just say Julius Goat Randle?
Yo, he will be when it's all said and done. No, I'm kidding, but no, like someone.
You know, actually, I think the Knicks should they've earned their flowers for actually making some decent draft picks recently. Because quickly is for catching him where they caught him. I'd say that's pretty good. And I think Obi Toppin's going to be a really good player. I just think the Knicks compared to, because there was one day where I looked up all the Knicks draft picks of the 2000s, and holy shit, they were horrible. It turned they were some of the worst players ever that just dropped out of the league. Did you know we drafted the nigga that Vince Carter jumped over and dunked on in the Olympics? The Knicks did that.
Who was it?
So just Frederick Weiss. That was his name. But the draft picks, I feel, have gotten better. We've gotten better judgment as far as evaluating talent, in my opinion. That's just me.
No, for sure. I was one of the people that actually doubted the Quickly and the Obi pick, but I'm pretty sure that's just because I'm just a traumatized Knicks fan. I was thinking we need a point guard. We can't have Elfrid Payton starting. We need I thought we needed to get Tyrese Halliburton. And I was like, fuck, we got another fucking power forward. Because, again, we had Taj, we had Julius, we had Bobby Portis. And realistically, I should have realized some of them were going to have to go. But in my head, I'm just like, great, now we have all these.
The Knicks really signed Bobby Portis.
I actually.
Not bad for cutting you off. It's just Bobby Portis was a Knick. I can't believe it.
Yeah. And then the Quickly one, I thought we should have got RJ Hampton, personally. But, first of all, RJ Ham right now is not. I don't even think he's getting minutes. And the little bit I've seen from Quickly, because I didn't watch a lot of the preseason, but I watched the parts where he went off. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm ready to eat my words on that.
Quickly? Oh, yeah, he's good. Because he's basically, he's the point guard with aggression that we've been needing. Because Frank is cool and all. I love Frank, love his defense. I love Frank's skills as a basketball player. but he's not a point guard that's going to keep the defense honest. Like when he's looking to pass, he's looking to pass. When he's looking to shoot, he's looking to shoot. You have to be able to be looking to do both of those things at the same time, so they can't play you a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I gotcha. One person I was actually pretty cool with was Alec Burks. I kind of figured when we signed him because I saw him in Golden State and I saw him in Philly with like the crazy offense he was giving that he would be a monster. But I didn't realize through like 3 games he would average 21 points on 67% shooting from downtown.
Oh yeah, Alec Burks is cool. He was one of those like kind of hidden gem 2K players for a little bit when he was on the Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know why his career never really took off, but he's like a Jordan Clarkson type player. Like he just come get buckets.
Yeah, exactly. I think he could be a Jordan Clarkson for us. And whenever he did play, he was playing for point because, like, again, quickly got hurt, I think, in the first game or something like that. So they had him playing point guard. And, like, I'm scared to have him keep playing point guard when quickly comes back, which is obviously not going to happen. Like, if you have an actual point guard, why would you put a shooting guard in as your point guard? But, like, I don't know. I think he can be a Jordan Clarkson, like you said.
Like, yeah, but at the same time, we don't even really. He's kind of just he's playing the role for the sake of it rather than the fact that we need it. Because I don't know if the Knicks. What do you think is the ceiling for the Knicks? Like, what's the highest seed you think they end up with?
The 8th seed, I think.
The 8th seed.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's consider this because I was thinking that same thing. The 7th and 8th seed in the East. How many wins have teams really needed to get that? What, like 30, 35, 36, 38 wins, somewhere around there?
Around the 7th seed, like at least over recent years, I would say, like, yeah, somewhere around like 38, 40, something like that for at least the 7th seed.
Okay, fair enough then. Because I also had forgotten that we have the shortened season, which is 72 games now. So if the Knicks are playing 72 games, I don't know if they win 38. I could see them max winning between 32 and 35. So that could maybe even be like the play-in bubble area.
I could see that. Considering how close we were last year, we were a game or two out of the Wizards, who ended up going to the bubble. I don't think we would have made the playoffs, so I think that definitely showed improvement with the weird coaching change that we had midway through the year with Fizdale, and then we had Mike Miller, who I liked. Like, I think that definitely showed some improvement, and we've made a lot more. We've made many more improvements. When we cut some dead weight off, we signed some fresh faces. We drafted some fresh faces. And so yeah, I think for sure.
Did you like David?
Oh, what's up?
Did you like David Fizdale?
I didn't hate him. I think he was I think he was just dealt a bad hand. I was kind of indifferent towards him. I know he did a decent job in Memphis for what it was worth. But like, that literally is looking for a needle in a haystack. They were just looking for a scapegoat with Fizdale. Just the team was fucking ass as it was. When he signed on, there was no Porzingis. There was pretty much nothing. Moutier was our best player, and they just kind of they just sort of threw him into the Lions' den there. And then the next year, like when Marcus Morris was averaging 20. I think we were like 4-20 at some point, and they were like, nope. So, like, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, though, like, he got to jump off the ship, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I would agree. He didn't have the best roster coming in, and I feel like they could have given him more time. But I mean, Thibodeau is still, I think, for the roster we have now, I think a better fit coach.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Fizdale. I think Thibodeau now is establishing a very like well-rounded, like a defensive culture, which is something we've needed for a long time because we have so many good defensive players, and one of them obviously being Mitchell Robinson, who I think it could be like if he just actually starts being consistent, stops getting in foul trouble, he could be a top 10 center in this league, and I mean that with no sarcasm. No, nothing. Last year, in 23 minutes, he broke the NBA field goal percentage record for a season. And you know who had that record before?
Wilt?
Yeah, Wilt. I think it was like 72.7. He didn't like blow that record out of the water, but he still beat it in his second year. So like,
I'm not gonna lie, which is it's weird because like everybody loves him, but Mitch, I don't know. I get these vibes from Mitch where like he's like when you look at Hassan Whiteside and you know what he can do, but you don't know if he really cares enough to keep doing that. Does that make sense?
yeah, I feel you there, cause again, like
Yeah,
it's
he's
yeah.
giving me Hassan vibes.
Yeah, because Hassan, he was playing out of his mind until he got that big money deal. Then he just sort of settled for mediocre until he needed more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I see what you mean there. And this year he's not really showing like a lot. He's shooting 55% through 5 games this year. His worst game was also his best game. He had 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal on 4 of 9 shooting. Like that's not really
That's a pretty mediocre game.
yeah, and like before that, it was against the Pacers, 21 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 2 from the field, and like 6 rebounds. Then the next game against Philly, 11 points, 5 of 8, 9 rebounds, which is actually that might be a better game actually. The Bucks, he was 4 for 6, 9.6 boards. And then in the Raptors game, 25 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals.
You know who would make Mitchell Robinson look incredible?
Who? Who?
James Harden.
Honestly, yeah, because like he made Clint Capella look like, and no disrespect towards Clint Capella, because like I actually really like Clint Capella,
No,
but
all this, no, all for me, it's all disrespect towards Clint Capella. That is, without James Harden throwing him lobs, that is Samuel Dalembert. Continue.
no, but like I think you're right, because they're pretty similar players. They're both Capella actually got starting minutes. He's not getting Mitchell Robinson 20 minutes a night. He was getting like 30 something minutes. He was averaging 15 and 15. A couple blocks, and it was because of Harden. Because you know what, you're right. He was like, he really did like cherry pick for the lobs, and it definitely helped him out a lot. So I forgot. Wait, who did they trade him to Atlanta for?
I actually don't. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Houston traded Clint Capella and then Ney to the Hawks and received. Okay. So they got Robert Covington and Jordan Bell for Capella. All right, so that wasn't bad.
Oh, Covington was on the Hawks. Oh.
I think he was on the Timberwolves, but it was a 4-team, 12-player trade.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely agree with that. I think Harden would 100% make Mitch better than RJ.
Would you be open to the Knicks trading for James Harden?
Depending on who they'd give up, I would say yeah.
So theoretically, right? Who do you think the Rockets would want? Do you think they'd want RJ?
I would say there's no way that they wouldn't want RJ. Their current shooting guard for the current, and then they would need one for the future, obviously. So I can see them giving. They would probably want RJ, and that's probably not all they'd want. They'd probably want Mitch. They'd probably want.
Yeah.
I'd give them. Yeah, I'd throw in, like, if they really wanted, I'd throw in like Dennis Smith and Kevin Knox. You know, just give them the easy job, and maybe even like a first or two. I can definitely see Houston wanting the farm for James Harden.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think they would 100% like want our whole future just for a guy who can't stay healthy, like physically healthy, just can't be normal. I don't know. I get like James Harden is undeniably a great player, but like he just gives me a weird vibe with the shit he does.
I agree, but I mean, I always considered the idea that if the Knicks traded for James Harden, they would arguably have because you know when it's coming down to MVP conversations and the numbers and all of that shit, they can't deny Harden. So the Knicks would arguably have the best player in the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, 100.
Right? So when you have the best player in the conference, that means going into the playoffs, you have the best basketball player on the floor in every game.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that logic there.
And historically, when you have the best basketball player on the floor, you're just more likely to win the game, plain and simple. So, that's the only way that I see myself being like, get James Harden.
Yeah, I could see that, but let's say like that did happen. Do you think Harden could carry whatever is left of that roster to even like a playoff spot?
Wow, to be honest, now when you ask that question, then Probably not, because if we're giving up R.J. Barrett, we're giving up, assuming they want Mitch, and then, probably throw in Kevin Knox, and then either Dennis Smith or Frank Ntilikina, then it's going to be literally Harden and friends.
Yo, Harden and Austin Rivers reuniting to take over the East.
Facts. That's the backcourt to be reckoned with right there. But yeah, you're right. That would be a horrible roster now that I think about it.
It doesn't look like... I'm looking at the current schedule. It doesn't look like we're playing anyone in the West until the 6th, and I'm pretty sure that's when Obi's coming back.
The 6th? But just a couple days from now.
Yeah, that's 4 days.
Well, I mean, we still have... That's the thing. Like, this is, like, a conversation that is to be developed, because since we're only a couple of games into the season, the Knicks could very well be lying to us right now. Like, within 10 games, we could be completely depressed because we just don't get wins anymore.
Oh yeah, look, I remember when we built that big three with Melo and KP and D Rose, Noah, which we're not going to talk about that. Like, I remember we
don't even have to mention him.
Yeah, we were like 15-9 or something like that. Like, I remember I was putting the record in on my Twitter, and I'm just like, yeah, we're actually good now. It was my second year of like actually being a Knicks fan, or third year, and I was like, yeah, we're finally good.
What a horrible time to become a Knicks fan. That's really a bad time.
The worst time was I actually became a Knicks fan in the 2014-15 season. I started watching basketball about around the 2014-15 season, when we had our worst year in franchise history.
I mean, like, I don't know how you become a fan at a time like that, but I mean, shout out to you still.
Yeah, first game I watched, it was the Cavs and the Knicks. It was there was Melo, it was JR with Shumpert. I think it was the final score was like 90-87 or something like that. And JR chucked a shot up, what's it called, after the buzzer, and actually drained it. And then like 2 games later, JR got traded to the Cavs, and then I was stuck because Melo got hurt too. So I was stuck watching Cole Aldrich, Lou Amundsen, Jason Smith, Shane Larkin, Langston Galloway.
Shane Larkin, oh my goodness, what a horrible roster that was. That was so bad.
I see those relatable posts on Twitter just being like, "Were you a fan when?" And then I just see the first picture. I'm like, "Why the fuck are you doing this to me?"
Oh man.
Yeah.
But I mean, what made you be a Knicks fan?
Mostly like my family. I come from I'm not gonna say like my grandfather. I was gonna say, but like he's not really like a fan of any teams. He's probably closer to a Nets fan than a Knicks fan. My dad is a diehard Knicks fan, so I guess I just sort of inherited it from that. But yeah, like before I didn't watch basketball, but I played a lot of 2K14 on Xbox One, and I would play my career, and I got drafted, or I signed with the Suns, or whatever the storyline was. So immediately I was like, all right, I like the Suns. And then I started watching Suns games. I think that was the team with Bledsoe and Dragic and whoever else was on it, PJ Tucker. Like, that was actually like a fun team. And they got buckets. Like, Dragic was my favorite player, I think, at the time. I think Gortat was on there too.
Yeah, that was a cool. I was on that team in 2K14 my career as well, and I would use them online.
Yeah, I think everyone was on that. Like, now that you say that, I was thinking about it. Chris Smoove, I think, was even on the Suns.
Yeah, he was on the Suns too. Yeah, he was. I remember watching those videos.
And then yeah, and then like I just started watching. Like I turned on NBA on TNT one day. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm watching basketball now. I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, what a interesting moment for you to become a fan of basketball and then choose to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah, like, and I still hold some for the Suns. I still think that team. Let's see, what's their record?
Don't do that. I mean, they're not bad now. Like, but I don't know. The Suns just.
Yeah, right.
I can't talk because I'm a Knicks fan, but like I still think of the Suns as like it's the Suns.
Yeah, I could see that. And right now, it just looks really weird right now. I'm looking at the record on Google. They have the best record in the NBA right now. They're 5-1.
The Suns, yeah. But the thing is, I see the Suns right now the same way that I see or saw like Utah and Denver.
Yeah, they were just like they were ass for like 5 years.
No, but just like their ceiling potential, right? So they're you can call them a dark horse, but I don't think they're realistically like getting further than maybe the second round in the playoffs. And then I think Chris Paul is spending maybe 2 years there, and I don't see the Suns as like a place where this set of players is gonna stick around. Like Devin Booker or Ayton, I don't know if both of them are gonna be there within the next 3 years.
I think if I was to choose between those, I would probably get rid of Aiden. I mean, I think that's probably an obvious, but like I don't know. I never really liked Aiden.
Ayton, I haven't really seen his game, but if I'm being honest, I really like Wiseman, the guy that Golden State drafted. I would take Wiseman right now over Ayton.
Oh, he's really fucking good. Hold on, let me see what Wiseman's stat line's like. They're actually in a game right now. They're down by 30.
12:46 a.m. during a game. Oh yeah, West Coast.
Yeah.
But Wiseman, it's not even just the stat lines. There's two specific things that made me crazy about Wiseman recently. One, the fact that he's like, I think, well, it's probably changed by now if he's taken more, but he was like 4 of 5 or 4 of 6 from 3 for the season. So that's already an amazing thing that he's out here confident enough to shoot like that at the NBA range as a center, one. And then two, there's this one play where I think he got a block or got the board and then pushed the ball up the court by himself, dribbling it like Giannis, and then Euro step dunks, avoids contact, and finishes on the other end. And that was like insane.
Yeah, I watched him in garbage time on opening night against Brooklyn. I just saw him like he was just like they just let him do whatever he wanted. It was awesome. Like that was the first real glimpse I got of Wiseman. Because did he play in college?
No, he might have played maybe a handful of games, like 2 or 3, but he was one of those that I remember like he foregoed it pretty early, like he chose not to play.
I see. Yeah, so like
I
that was.
forgot what the specific situation was because around that time was the same time that they announced that the G League would start paying like college students like that new route for them to take to go to the G League instead of one and done.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. The next game we have is against the Pacers. I'm looking at. Let's see.
Sabonis is about to give us the numbers again. Nice.
Former president. No, that's not important. It's former Donnie Walsh is retiring.
Oh, shout out to Donnie Walsh. The last time the Knicks were great is when Donnie Walsh was there.
Facts. Big facts. Let's see. Sabonis. Let's see. Last time we played him, he dropped. Oh dear God Lord! Fucking 32 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal.
Numbers.
And he's putting up Julius Randle type numbers. He's putting up better numbers.
Julius Randle type numbers. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of makes me confident about Indy is that like Sabonis he's not really playing much defense. Like I don't know, there's something about that just gives me confidence. But also he didn't play much defense against us before, and we lost by 20. But
would you trade Julius Randle for Sabonis?
Ooh. I honestly don't know. I mean,
because one is an all-star technically, one's not.
Yeah, well, that is true. One's technically an all-star. Honestly, I'd say no. I think I'd say no.
Right? Yeah. Right now, yeah, I understand that answer. Right now, I'd understand that answer.
Yeah, as of right now, because I mean, like, if it was for a trade, I think that would just first of all that would just completely fuck the chemistry. Because Randall's sort of like the captain, I would think, of this team right now.
Yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't say Sabonis can't be that guy either.
Oh no, yeah, he can. Like, he is very, very talented. Like, I give all my props to him. And for like whatever he lacks, he definitely does make up with how skillful he is on offense. But like, I don't know. That's a really tough question though. But like, I'm gonna reverse the question to you. Would you take that?
right now, I don't know if I would feel the same way if Julius Randle keeps playing like this, but right now, actually, yeah, I would take it because I feel like even though Julius Randle's playing well, I think he's kind of playing above what he's historically shown me the level that he's played at. He's playing above that right now. So that means his stock is up. So I'm okay with selling while his stock is up to get someone who I feel is a bit more consistent at his level of all-star. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, because I feel like I would just get more consistent play out of Sabonis long-term.
Yeah. Well, one thing.
But I mean, okay.
No, I was just gonna go into the Bucks game. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but I mean, like I said, like we still gotta wait and see what's going on for how the season continues to play out.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about real quick: the Bucks game where we beat them by 20.
Oh. Yeah. It's a sweet moment, but it's because I feel like no one other than a Knicks fan gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's true. Cause like ESPN, I noticed because after that game, my dad didn't really watch the game. I didn't really watch it either, but like my dad was looking on ESPN for highlights of the Knicks game, and they were only showing fucking Giannis highlights. They weren't showing they weren't showing the Knicks or like Julius Randle or Julius Randle had 29, 14, and 7. Giannis had 27, 13, and 5, and they were only showing like Giannis highlights.
And the next day, I was watching ESPN. I had it on in the afternoon, and The Jump came on, the Rachel Nichols afternoon show.
Yeah.
And they usually talk about everything basketball that happened in the last 24 hours. And instead of talking about the Knicks beating the Bucks, they talked about who was it, Reggie Bullock, that had on like a wrong jersey or something like that.
Yeah.
It was some kind of Shaq in the Fool moment. They chose to talk about that. They were like, yeah, even when they do something good, we're still clowning them. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, y'all, it's so obvious that y'all have this agenda that you just choose to speak negatively about us, no matter when we do something good. So it's so whack. That was like such a. I hated the day after we got that W because it showed that on every level.
I know, like we can't even have that. We can't even have a win against the best team in the league.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and the ironic part was that Bobby Portis called us out for it on Twitter.
Oh Jesus! Who does he play for now?
The Bucks.
Does he play? Oh God, he doesn't play. So that's one.
Let's see, what was there anything else? I'm not going to talk about the Sixers game. One thing I've noticed, at least early on, we play great in the first half. I mean, except for the 2 wins. I'm just going to exclude those from the losses. We play great in the first half. We either tie or we lead going into the second half, and then we just completely fall apart.
Yeah, that's classic Knicks. But I'm thinking of one of the wins that we had where I think it was maybe against the Cavs. Who are our 2 wins against? Do you know? What's up?
Bucks, who we beat by 20, and the Cavs that we beat by 9.
Yeah, so that Cavs win, I remember watching that game down the stretch, and the Cavs kept trying to come back. Like, they kept, Colin Sexton just kept hitting shots. They kept, like, they didn't start missing to let themselves just get out of the game. And the Knicks did something that was very un-Knick-like. They kept hitting shots back, and we went on to win. So I think that's one thing that I'm looking out for the rest of the season going forward is if the Knicks do play well enough to still be in games toward the end, can they put teams away? Because that's growth.
Yeah, like the game against Cleveland, because right now Cleveland's looking like no joke right at this second. Again, I don't know what that's going to mean in a week or a month or whenever. But right now, like we gave them their first loss of the year, and they were 3-0. We shot 14 for 25 from 3. I actually didn't know that. Holy shit, we shot 62% from the free throw line, though.
Yeah, we were cooking that game.
Yeah, and not that Cleveland was much better, but still.
Cleveland, I'm expecting them to start losing a lot of games soon. Like, I don't think they're going to be that. I don't think they're a good team either.
No, they're definitely not a good team. They're just riding like the early momentum because the same thing happened with circling back to Phoenix last year. They were 5-1, and then they just Phoenix it. Like they just
And the
kept losing.
Hawks, actually, I'm not going to say anything bad about the Hawks because I think the Hawks are going to be a playoff team this year.
No, I
But I mean,
think
they started off super hot, and I'm just like, relax. They beat like 3 teams that are losers historically.
yeah. But today they beat the Nets by 20.
Yeah, so that's their most impressive, I'll say most impressive W so far.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I'm actually looking at the box score for that. Kevin Durant, I watched it for about half of the third quarter. Throughout that half, Kevin Durant made so many mistakes, but I guess he didn't make too many because he had 28, 8, and 4.
He had 28, 8, and 4.
Yeah, in 37 minutes. And
And what did Kyrie have?
Kyrie had 18 and 11 and 4 rebounds. Wait, he had 11 rebounds? What the fuck?
What percentage did he and Kyrie shoot?
Kyrie shot. Oh, okay. Yep, he shot 6. Kyrie shot 6 for 21, 2 for 11.
Oh,
Yeah. And KD, let me go take a look. He shot 10 for 21, 2 for 7 from. All right, so yeah, that's not bad.
yeah, but Kyrie, that's a pretty. I need some more than that. But makes sense. And what did Trey? What was Trey Young's stat line? He was cooking.
Trae Young in 32 minutes, 21 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and he shot. Let me take a look. 7 for 21, 3 for 8.
That's super interesting. So the Hawks won by 20, and Trey Young had that kind of stat line.
I'm pretty sure some other players went off for him, if I'm right. Actually, no. I mean, John Collins had a solid game. DeAndre Hunter had a pretty good game, 23 points.
So do you think the fact that the Hawks can beat the Nets, who everyone's just crowning as these Eastern Conference gods early on, do you think the Hawks being able to beat them by 20 says more about the Hawks or says more about the Nets?
I would say that says more about the Hawks, honestly. Like, because that's a tough question. Because like the Nets are starting to I guess they're trying to find their groove. Because I think they were like 3-0 to start off, and I'm pretty sure they're on a 3-game skid now. So I think the Nets are just still trying to figure out how minutes are gonna go with the 2 superstars. But like I don't know.
And they lost Dinwiddie.
Oh yeah, and
really, did Dinwiddie mean that much?
I mean Dinwiddie. You see, like I always hear like a debate like that, like, and it's tough too because Dinwiddie, I think it kind of varies. Obviously, with anyone, it kind of varies night to night. But with Dinwiddie, like he is probably one of the more consistent backups in the league. And like I see Landry Shamet, I assume he's taking Dinwiddie's place. In 17 minutes, he had 1 rebound and 1 assist, no points.
But that's a really bad game for Shamet, though, because Shamet is a pretty solid player. Like, he played really well for the Clippers. I thought he was a great player for the Clippers. And when they let him go, I thought it was dumb.
Oh, he was for sure. Like, I was amazed because like I saw him in Philly, and in Philly he wasn't too bad. And then I saw he went to the Clippers. I was like, all right. And, like last year he didn't even have like a great year. He had he shot 40% from the field, 37 from downtown, but mostly like in the NBA it's just mostly based on impact. Like right now, like I'll circle back to the Knicks since it's the focus of the podcast. RJ is having a horrible shooting season so far. He had one or two. Yeah, he had like 1 or 2 good shooting games and then just sort of fell off in that department. But he's still like a good impact player right now for this team. Like he's still making plays. He's still making good defensive plays. So like, yeah, it definitely varies on that. But like, I'm looking at Landry Shamet for this year. I'm looking at games. He shot 0 for 9 against the Hornets, 0 for 8 from downtown.
Oof.
And he shot 1 for 4 against the Warriors, 1 for 3 against the Celtics, 2 for 5 against the Grizzlies. His best game was a couple nights ago when they played the Hawks. 14 points, 5 of 5, 2 of 2 from downtown.
Do you think by the time the trade deadline comes around, by the end of the amount of time that we have to trade someone, do you think any trades happen? Like, do you think the Knicks make any moves before the year is over?
Oh, let me take a look again. Let me take a look at the Knicks roster real quick. Why, thank you NBA.com for pulling that up. No, I don't want to be a part of the action. I want to be part of the Knicks newsletter. Come on now. If anyone, I can see Alec Burks being traded. As much as I don't want it, like assuming if we're good or bad. If we're good, I think they're not even gonna try to trade anyone. But if we're in the midst of tanking, I say goodbye to Alec Burks, because that's what happened with Marcus Morris last year, and I hated it then because we got Mo Harkless, who ended up doing nothing for us. But yeah, there was that. But yeah, if we do make any trades, it's going to be saying goodbye to Alec Burks, maybe even Alfred Payton, because I guess we'll have to, like, good or bad. I think I can see Alfred Payton leaving.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good call. Alec Burks, because I think he'd be a good piece to any team that's going into the playoffs. Like, he would just make sense as a good scorer to come off your bench, like we mentioned Clarkson. So yeah. Burks. And also, I wouldn't rule out Frank being on the trade block too. That's just me.
No, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out either. I mean, I feel like they're gonna try to give him like one more year, see if he can do anything, and then just evaluate it next year. But like, I don't know.
We'll see how it goes. Because quickly, I'm just looking at quickly. So, because you want to sell when you feel like the player still has value, because teams still look at Frank Ntilikina and know what he can do. Because if the Knicks now just start basing our point guard play around quickly and then people forget about Frank, then his value diminishes. So that's why I said that.
Oh, yeah. One person they should try to get rid of, in my opinion, Dennis Smith Jr. I don't know if they're going to. I feel like...
Yeah, but see, that's the happen, right? Like, nobody even cares about him right now. Nobody want him.
No, so they're I don't know if he's hurt or what his situation is right now, but I think they need to try to get him some minutes, like a few minutes, try to get his stock up a little bit, because he's still young. Like, how old is Dennis Smith right now?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. He's still like early 20s.
Yeah, he's 23. Like, he definitely still has some potential, and he's shown that he could be a player in this league, like a consistent player too. Because from like the brief time he was in Dallas, in the 21 games like from the Porzingis trade. He actually averaged 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Like nothing eye-popping, but something serviceable, I could see. The last year when he averaged 5 points on 34% shooting, 30% from downtown, like it brought his shooting percentage down to about 40% or under 40%. So there's that, but there's obviously room for improvement on that.
Yeah. Also, I mean, for Dennis is one of those other players where I feel like Knox or like another team probably might serve what he does a little bit better. Like when I look at a team like the Magic and how they've used, say, Markelle Fultz,
Yeah.
I imagine Dennis Smith would have needed a situation like that.
Like I definitely see what you mean. I'm happy for Markelle Fultz too, that he's actually able.
I'm really happy for him too.
Yeah, I'm looking, like, I'm seeing if I can find like a different place for him, but I don't really think so. I think the Magic, honestly, because the Magic, they actually have, like, you're right, they do have a knack for rejuvenating point guards. They made Michael Carter Williams a serviceable point guard in the NBA again. They have Markelle Fultz doing this thing. Like, I was skeptical of Markelle Fultz when he got his money, but now, like, I can definitely see, like, he's definitely going to do something big in this league. I have a good feeling about him.
Yeah, him and I'm not gonna lie and say him. Only right now, the one of the players that I really have my eye on this season is LaMelo. I really wanted the Knicks to get him, honestly.
Yeah, me too. And like the videos I was watching, I don't know if you've seen the guy around or anything, Alvini Linguini.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Yeah, like there was one video he was talking about maybe like LaMelo could fall to the 8th pick because the Hornets didn't really need they didn't need LaMelo, especially because I'm seeing like he's coming off the bench in favor of Terry Rozier.
Yeah, they didn't need him. Jordan just took him because it was like the best talent at the number 3.
Yeah, and I can understand that, like 100% from a marketable standpoint, or just even from a talent standpoint. But at that point, you just have to wonder: is it really necessary to to take like another point guard. You have Devontae Graham who plays point guard. You have obviously Terry Rozier. You have actually I'm not sure what does their rosters look like. Malik Monk apparently plays point guard.
And they don't have a bad roster actually.
No, like I always shit on the Hornets because like they're probably the only team aside from the Knicks that are actually just ass or all around.
Yeah. How much time do we have like so far?
50 minutes.
How long did you want to take it?
Like around here, like I was thinking maybe like 45 to an hour, something like that.
All right, cool. Is there any more points you wanted to touch before we finish up? Because I usually get tired in like another 90 minutes or so.
I think we pretty much covered everything. Yeah, I don't think there's really like anything else I think that we need to cover.
All right. I mean, we can revisit it later again in the season once we know what kind of team we really are rooting for here.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming through, man. Thank you for being on the first episode.
No problem, man. Have a happy New Year.
You too. All right, well that's gonna be it though for the podcast. Thank you all for coming through. This is on SoundCloud right now or on YouTube, however you're watching it. Be sure to go check out Andre. If it's on YouTube, his links will be down in the description for his YouTube, his like all of his socials and shit. If it's on SoundCloud, I'll figure out how to put socials in there. And yeah, tune in next week. Again, thank you guys for coming through. And yeah, peace out.